Hello, and welcome to today's presentation. I'm Diane Okonski, and I'm very happy you're able to join us today. The INLUS is committed to creating a connection point for Icelanders, people of Icelandic descent, and those interested in Iceland. Information on the INLUS can be found on our social media sites, our blog, and our website, inlus.org. If you are already a member of the INLUS, thank you. If you are not a member, I'd like to encourage you to join. Your membership helps fund scholarships, grants, local projects, and our very popular Icelandic language classes. Before we get started today, I just have two reminders. First, the program is being recorded and will be available on the INLUS website within the next few days. Second, as attendees to this program, you are on mute. However, we welcome your questions and we will answer as many as possible throughout the course of the program. To ask a question, please use Zoom's Q&A feature. This program will be divided into two parts with a Q&A following each, so please submit your questions as soon as you think of them. So let me now introduce today's guests. Hey Iceland has been an INLUS business member since the INLUS's beginning in 2019, and we are so honored to have their support. Joining us from the travel company is Höskuldur Sæmundsson, the sales and marketing manager with Hey Iceland. Blábjörg Resort is part of Hey Iceland, and we are also welcome Auður Gunnarsdóttir, owner of the Blábjörg Resort in Borgarfjörður in Borgarfjörður, Eystri, and Dagrún, the manager at the resort. They will be talking about the resort and giving us a tour. So welcome to all of you, and I will let you, Höskuldur, start the program.
Thank you, Diane. Hello all, and again, I want to start by thanking both Diane and Douglas for inviting us to speak here. As Diane said and mentioned in her introduction, my name is Höskuldur, and I am the marketing manager of Hey Iceland. We are the original Farmers Holiday, and I want to tell you a little bit about ourselves. And I'm going to share with you now a presentation. Am I correct? Yeah, you're seeing the screen sharing now, right? Yes, lovely. So, very briefly, just about myself. Well, let's start with the itinerary, of course. It's customary. So this is what I'm going to talk a little bit about. I'm going to address the elephant in the room, and I'll get to what the elephant is in a little bit. I want to discuss and tell you a little bit about the origins of Hey Iceland and then who we are and what we do. But a little bit about me. So I'm the marketing manager. I've decades of experience in marketing, and I'm originally an actor turned marketeer. And I've been working for Hey Iceland for a while now. But let's start here. Let's start by addressing the elephant in the room. And what is the elephant in the room? If you've been following Iceland or thinking about traveling to Iceland for a while, then this is probably something that you've been seeing. It's the volcanic activities that we've had in the Reykjanes Peninsula now, all throughout 2024, about a month and a half apart. And then we had a teeny tiny one now in April that lasted for all of 20 hours. The volcanic activities, if we just start with what they are very, very, very localized, a very localized event, meaning that they're in the Reykjanes Peninsula. And since we started the eruptions in 2021, the airport has simply just closed for a few hours for safety precaution and precautionary measures. But air traffic has remained open and available, and Iceland has remained open and available. If you went to TripAdvisor during some of the eruptions, there was a huge banner across, that the Iceland was experiencing volcanic activity. When the truth of the matter is that there was a very, again, I repeat, a very, very localized event in the Reykjanes Peninsula. There's been very little danger to people and livestock, and there's been some infrastructure damage, but the first eruption was what we call the touristy event, kind of, and this is sort of around the eruption. Everybody kept walking to it, and the main job of the safety people in charge of safety in Iceland and the police and the rescue squads is to stop people from actually walking into the volcano. So if you're not actively trying to get into it, you are and will be completely safe in Iceland. So that is the elephant addressed a little bit, but again, this is what comes up about when you're thinking about traveling to Iceland. So just wanted to start by addressing that. But to the point, who we are. We are Hey Iceland. We are originally founded by farmers, and we used to be the original Iceland farm holiday uh, company in Iceland. Our story dates back to 1965, so we are officially, or we can officially trace our roots back 60 years this year, when Iceland Air contacted a few farmers and asked them if they wanted to host foreign visitors who wanted to visit the countryside and wanted to experience something else rather than just Reykjavik and Akureyri, which were the two main destinations. Iceland Air published a very large pamphlet with Icelandic farms in 1967. And then slowly more farmers joined. And then officially in 1980, the Icelandic Farm Holiday Association was founded, and it was a member of the Icelandic Farmers Association. The official company was sort of moved away from that in 1991, and we became an independent company, and we've been working, booking, and maintaining and quality itineraries ever since, to put it shortly. We are, like I said, we are the Iceland Farm Holidays originally, but the story doesn't really end there, because also in 1965, farmers, obviously thinking about traveling because of what had happened with Iceland Air, they adopted a declaration at the farmers' sort of general assembly that the farmers association should plan and organize trips for farmers abroad, and this started a few years later officially, and shortly thereafter became an independent company as well, but not owned by the farmers. We, the Iceland Farm Holidays, we've always been owned by the farmers, owned locally. And then in 2003, we acquired Bændaferðir, or the farm travels. And from that point, we've offered both inbound and outbound travel with those sort of connections between Hey Iceland, which is, or Iceland Farm Holiday, which is now Hey Iceland, and then the farmers' journeys, which is the outbound travel. So we were operating under this sort of logo, Iceland Farm Holidays, from 1980 to September 2016, with a sort of turf farm as our emblem, as our logo. And then we did we did a rebranding of the entire company, and we adopted the word hey for it. And hey in Icelandic means hey, different spellings. Hey is also a greeting. Hey is what you do, and the sort of idea and thinking behind it was that we have a lot of grass. We have the farmers' roots. We have connections with the countryside. So we want to adopt that. There's a lot of, I mean, if you've been in Iceland for more than 2 days, you know that you can expect snow and rain and sleet and everything in between in the same hour, if that. So that explains, the wind sort of explains how the letters are leaning a little bit. And then, of course, green is sort of inherently bound with us and with Iceland. I mean, if you're American, you've always heard the phrase probably that Iceland is green and Greenland is ice. And that is actually very true. We have the Aurora Borealis, the Northern Lights, that are also green. So that all these sort of elements coming together founded this sort of idea that we are now Hey Iceland, and we are, again, the sort of your local tour operator trying to get those sort of feelings across, that we have the local roots. We know we started in the farm country, and we are still very much focused on that. We are a local travel agency, and these are our sort of core values. This is our basic principle, that everything that we do, we try to take out of those 3 words respect, meaning respect for nature, respect for travel, respect for the environment, joy, because we're creating memories and we're, trying to incite happiness and joy, and then innovation, trying to do something new, do something extra, try to customize and so forth and so on. We're a team of 27 people who have combined, we have hundreds and hundreds of years of experience. It's the perfect sort of combination, in my opinion, of people that have been working there for decades, and then people who are relatively started, this year or last year or within 5 years. We do what we do every day is that we customize itineraries. We try to find niche locations and try to find places and sort of services that our customers are want. We're pairing tour guides with groups, making sure that you get the right fit, that you get the knowledge that the group wants. We negotiate prices for group travel. We also have our own sort of marketplace that we have on our website. We try to cater to all different needs and wishes for both individuals and larger groups. We're very much rooted in, again, the countryside, very much rooted in history, and like Diane said, when we were offered to be sort of a business partner with INLUS originally, we jumped at the chance because we both hosted Icelanders who moved abroad, second, third generations to Iceland, and we were also through Bændaferðir, we've also organized a lot of trips for Icelanders going to Canada and going to Wisconsin and sort of to the Icelandic places and trying to find sort of relatives and so forth. I once I went to one of those sort of conferences in Canada a few years ago, and I'd been there, I think, less than 6 or 7 hours when I had been traced. My lineage had been traced to everybody that was in the room, so it was actually kind of fun to experience that. But that's one of the things that we've done, and we're keeping on doing. We are now, just to tell you, we're organizing Karlakórin Fóstbræður. It's a large sort of choir. We're organizing their trip to Winnipeg this summer. So it's this is what we do every year. When you book with us, I've had 2 travelers. If you're solo travelers, we get the driver guide, you get the sort of your itinerary, you get a little tablet that will show you where you need to go. You'll have all your itineraries, you'll have your sort of schedule in there. We're working on an app that will probably replace the drive guide. What you get is that you get an emergency number that is monitored 24/7. So if something happens in your journey and while you're traveling, we take care of that. A personalized itinerary, we try to work with you. We ask you questions, what you want experience, where you want to go. If you're looking for something specific, we try to get that. With larger groups, we only offer licensed guides, meaning that have actually gone through the schools and are registered and licensed guides. We work with the legacy car rentals, and we have, again, the intimate knowledge of the countryside. But then, most importantly, we help you with updates on weather conditions, and we help you when things go very Icelandic. And what do I mean when I say when things go very Icelandic? Here are 3 sort of short examples of that. One is from this April 16th, 2025. So less than a month ago, when the ring road was closed because of snow. And then, we had to change itineraries, and there were travelers who were going to drive around the country and they couldn't. So we had to rebook hotels, etc. Last July, 27th of July, last summer, the ring road, because of rivers, the ring road was cut again. Again, there's no harm to people, but this changes the itineraries, and we need to figure out, and that's some of the things that we do. And then there's my favorite. If you go to a Mývatn Natural Baths, you'll see their video from, I think, June 5th of last summer, when the baths were closed because it was snowing so hard, and you couldn't drive from Akureyri to Mývatn. And when we get to Smyrlabjörg, Auður and Dagrún probably have many stories like that they can share with you if that. But that's one of the things that we do. particularly with group travel, we try to make sure that you get the relevant information. It's our duty and responsibility to monitor traveling conditions, and that's sort of a part of sort of the personalized service that we try to offer. We have vast variety of offerings. We have hotels, we have activities, we have rental cars. Iceland is open all year round, so you can both browse our tours on the website via either for seasons, or you can do it depending on length or areas that you want to go. We're always trying to innovate and trying to do better with that. We have a lot of sort of history and legacy tours that we offer as well. But overall, we have more than 1,500 activities on our books, and we have over 400 different types of stays. And everything that we do is always sort of customizable, and we try to cater to every customer's need. Now, very briefly, we are very environmentally conscious. We have a comprehensive sustainability policy you can check on our website. We are members of the Icelandic Tourism Cluster and the Icelandic Tourism Companies Organization. We are members of INLUS. We have the certifications that are there and that are available to us. So that's also taken care of. But so I just want to end this very sort of brief overview of what we do with a little video that sort of describes or shows you rather how sort of the idea that we have, and then I'll answer any questions afterwards. So I'm just going to let the video play. So that's my brief overview, and yeah, I'll answer any questions if you have any, or my email is there as well. You can always send us an email or via our website. But yeah, this is a brief overview of what we do. So thank you very much. Over to you, Diane.
Well, thank you so much, Höskuldur. That was marvelous. And we have had a few questions come in. The first one is, I often hear about people coming to Iceland for a week and wanting to do the entire Route 1 loop. For me, that would be too much too fast. For others, that's all the time that they have. As someone who lives in Iceland, what would you say is the minimal amount of time needed to do the entire ring road with enough time to really enjoy the sights and not spend all the time in the car?
That is an excellent question. Iceland is roughly the size of Kentucky when it comes to landmass. So you can theoretically, if you are in a hurry, you can drive around the country in 15 to 20 hours, again, if you are in a hurry. It's if you want to do it right and you want to enjoy it, I would say that 10 to 15 days is, for me, the bare minimum. But then again, I like to sit and sort of breathe in nature and listen to the birds and the waterfalls and so forth and enjoy myself. But then I have friends who just want to do the quick overview because they like the Instagram versions of things. So it really depends on your sort of preference. But for me, I would be disappointed if I did the ring road in less than a week. For me.
Okay, thank you. Another question is the northeast section of Iceland seems to have few accommodations on your map. And many of our ancestors came to the US from places like Vopnafjörður and areas like that. What can you do to try to connect people who want to explore this area to get them accommodations?
Well, there are a few stays that are there, but unfortunately, whether you look at Melrakkaslétta, which is like the north where you have like the northernmost Hraunmatangi and all those places. I mean, Raufarhöfn has one stay, and I think Kópasker another. So in that entire area, so you have only those two places. Then Þórshöfn and down to Vopnafjörður, there aren't many, but the good thing about it, or not the good thing about it, the 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 travelers in Iceland are mostly condensed in the southwest corner, meaning again, people are doing 3 or 4 day layovers or stopovers or whatever. So the further you go, the easier it will be to get rooms, and it'll sort of be less touristy. That being said, there are hotspots, meaning that there's Ásbyrgi, that is right before you come to Kópasker on sort of, if you're familiar with the northeastern part of the country. That's a very popular tourist destination. So it's a 2.5, 3 hour drive from Akureyri, maybe, depending on traffic and how fast you drive. And then there are sort of hidden gems. Honestly, I mean, and I'm not saying this because Smyrlabjörg is up, but Borgarfjörður Eystri is one of my favorite places in the entire country to go. They have a music festival in the summer called Iceland. It's an old abandoned warehouse, and there's a bunch of people who have sort of that are kind of my age, so very briefly above middle age, that have come sort of gone, and they've come back, and now they're building the hotels. They're building a brewery. They have this concert venue that they play around with. And I've been coming regularly to that place since 2009. So it's if the great thing about these places, for the most part, is that the people are friendly, and if you have a problem trying to find a stay, they will point out where there might be a free room for you to rent or whatever. But then again, we try to help you with that as well. I think I've answered the question probably 3 different ways and gone in complete circle around it, and I apologize for that. But yeah.
All right, well, thank you. Thank you. And camping seems to have become quite popular in Iceland. What can you offer people who want to do camping rather than staying, in a hotel or a guest house?
We can help you rent a tent, meaning that there are places that help you rent either a tent. There are some campers that you can rent as well if you want to go that route. My favorite thing is to actually be in an actual tent. That would be my recommendation if you're doing it and going between camping sites. And if you are attending and going to the camping sites, you get all facilities. You get the bathroom, running water, you can get electricity, etc. So it's actually it's one of the things that I do myself when I travel. Speaking of, again, Borgarfjörður Eystri, when they have their sort of music festival called Iceland, they have maybe 500, 600, 700 people that come into town, but they don't have hotel rooms or didn't have hotel rooms for all of those people. Then we stayed in tents, and that's what everybody does. So it's actually one thing you need to understand about Iceland and camping is that we rarely have bugs. We're getting some of the sort of flies that bite lately, but there aren't many bugs in Iceland. We have some of the cleanest food, for instance. We use the least amount of pesticides in our agriculture out of all the countries in the world. And that's the reason for that is because we don't have those bugs that bite or eat. So you can actually camp almost everywhere without spraying yourself or whatnot. So it's actually a kind of nice activity.
Okay. And so going back to the very basics, How do you go about booking a vacation on Hey Iceland?
Well, there are two ways of doing it. You can either send us a message or an email asking us, like describing what you want, or you can book one of our pre-made packages. And if you do the pre-made package, we always contact you with what you want to customize in it. So that's sort of the easiest way. I guess one way of looking at it is that we like to think of ourselves as sort of a travel agency concierge service, meaning that, we try to cater to what you need. There are some set options, but the easiest way is just to get in touch and get the ball rolling. That's the easiest way.
Okay. And one of the things that has come up this year, especially, is that travel analysts in the US have indicated that Americans are kind of limiting their traveling overseas for vacations.
Mhm.
And has Hey Iceland seen any impact from that?
Not as of yet. We have a fairly large travel agency that we do business with that comes with lots of American tourists to Iceland, and they've actually we were just having a conversation with them a week or 10 days ago, where they were telling us that they've sort of been sending all their partners worldwide warnings that 2026 we might see a decline in travel. But Iceland so far, the demand for travel to Iceland has not diminished in the same sort of way that other countries have experienced on their books. So we are prepared for everything, but we remain hopeful.
Okay, good, good. All right, well, that's all the questions we have for you, Höskuldur,
Okay,
for the time being.
thank you.
And so now we're going to go out to East Iceland, to the Blábjörg Resort in the village of Borgarfjörður, located in Borgarfjörður, Eystri, to meet Auður and Dagrún. Auður, I've looked at the resort's website and it looks lovely, and it looks like there's just so much to do in the area. So I'm really excited to hear more.
Yeah. Hi, my name is Auður, and I'm the owner of Blábjörg Resort, who is located in east part of Iceland. We are as far east as you can go. And with me is also Dagrún. So we will take you a tour around our wonderful area. And as you can see, we have a beautiful mountain, beautiful weather. And so I will just say, welcome to Iceland. Blábjörg used to be a fish plant, and it was in really bad shape when we bought it, me and my husband, 2006. And from that year, we have been rebuilding this place bit by bit. So first we took the fish plant, and then we took one of the oldest house in the village, and we rebuilt that also. So what we are going to show you tonight is our accommodations, our wonderful spa, restaurant, and our pub. So we will tell you, so like bit by bit, like we have been doing this, all the constructions and everything. So we are going to start at the spa. Just follow me. So here we have the reception at the spa. And everything we have been doing here is from the east part of Iceland. The wood is coming from the biggest forest in Iceland. We have been picking stones from the canyon right here and taking things from the area. So we have been reused everything. And also we have been in production development here. So now we're going to take a look at that. As you can see outside, we have two big hot tubs and one cold tub. And then one just like one hot tub we're using during the summer. The bird life is huge here. We have lots of different kinds of birds. And they're coming here during the year and also in the summertime. Here we are going to the spa area. And as you can see, here's the stone from the area. And this is our sauna. You should see the view from it. And all the wood is from our nature. Also, we have infrared sauna, and also we have a steam bath. But here is the temple of relaxation, and this is what we are really proud of. One of the things we have here is brewery. So we are using all our ingredients to have a beer bath here. So people can relax here, have a wonderful view while they are taking a good bath. Other things we have been doing is we are picking up the seaweed just here in front of the spa. And we offer Icelandic seaweed bath. And then we have to use different kind of bath. And this is so powerful. So after you have been relaxing in the bath, we have relaxation rooms. Looks like this. Oh. And now for you will be the first one to know. This in June, we are going to start with another project we have been doing, and that's seaweed wrappings. So we have here a special room for that. It's almost ready, just almost. We have few things to do. So we are going to have here seaweed wrappings. And then we have also another product development with the University of Iceland is forest bathing. Because we are connected to the forest in east part of Iceland, so we have connected that together. So hopefully 2026, we're going to have forest bathing. So now we are going to show you our accommodations, what we have here in Blábjörg. There we have deluxe rooms, we have guest house, and different sizes of apartments. So we really want to show you the deluxes, and I think we're going to show you apartment. So while we are walking, would you like to have some questions while we're walking? No questions.
Yeah, no, we do have a question. I noticed on your website that within Bakkagerði there is an elf city, Alfborg. And as you've been doing your updates and your reconstruction, have you been consulting the elves?
We always consult the elves. We don't do anything without that. And we offer them some sacrifices out in their cliffs. So no worries, we're in good harmony with the elves here. Oh, we have to live peacefully with them.
Yes. And we have been doing many things to honor them. So that's why I think they're really proud of us.
Well, the site looks beautiful, so I'm sure they're very happy with what you've been doing. Now, on your website, you also say that you not only have a brewery, but you also have a distillery.
Yes, we do.
Breweries seem to pop up all over the place, but distilleries, not so much. Is that becoming more common?
Yes, and in our village here, there's a big tradition of what we called moonshine making or landi making. So we decided to take that tradition here and mainly do it legally, but also do it properly. So in our distillery, we distill our landi or our moonshine, and then we also decided to distill gin. But we are now here. We just walked into one of our deluxe rooms. All of the rooms are named after mountains here in the fjord. And this one is called Hvítserkur.
Yes. This is one of the newest department here. We opened this 2022. And they are quite big, and of course it's deluxe, so we have really nice big bathrooms. As you can see, this is for all the people who have who's handicapped.
It's handicapped accessible, disability accessible here.
Yes, she's really good in English. And then we have really nice beds and
then every single deluxe rooms, they come with a private balcony that overlooks the fjord. We will admit, we are getting an exemplary night to show you this. We cannot promise this weather every single time we get guests, but the fjord is really showing its best side tonight.
So in the old fish plant, we have also a guest house with sharing bathrooms and facilities. So there we have the same view on the seaside, but not balcony. And then we also have standard rooms there.
All right, so now we're gonna go to the restaurant.
Yes. So if you have questions,
keep them coming. We're gonna walk a little bit between, so we might as well answer some questions.
All right. So what time is it there?
It is now 9:30 in the evening, and the sun is shining.
It looks like a beautiful, beautiful place.
This is well, we have blackout blinds in the rooms, so people don't have to worry about the sun keeping them up at night. So here is the entrance to our restaurant and our reception. So let's see. And I'm gonna let Auður take over.
yes, now Dagrún is gonna tell you from our restaurant. We are really proud what we have been doing there.
So our restaurant focuses mainly on farm-to-table food, as in all of our produce is we get from farmers in our fjord and the fishermen in the fjord as well. The only protein we cannot get from the East Coast is the chicken, but there is no chicken farm in the east of Iceland, so that is our problem there. But we try to make everything homemade and from scratch as we can, both so we can promise good quality, but also so we can make sure that dietary restrictions can be followed and be safe. So let's take a look inside. Here we have a lovely outdoor area that can absolutely boil in the summertime. Here is to have a good beer from the brewery or a cocktail. This is the place to be. So let's check the restaurant out.
So when we come in here, the first thing people or our guests, we have the whole story for the fish plant here on the wall, so people can read about this remarkable house. And as you know, the fish plants in Iceland, it was heard in every village.
So our restaurant takes around 60 people in seats. During the summertime, we have a big menu, everything from starters to appetizers, desserts, and we also make our own pizzas here. So we have a little bit of everything. I think we can even accommodate the pickiest of picky eaters here. So I think everybody usually goes away very happy and full from our restaurant here. So as you can see, the bar is handmade from local wood as well. And we have, of course, our own produce, our beer on tap here. And then we have a big bar selections where we make cocktails from our distillery products, our moonshine and our gin. So this is our restaurant. And in the summertime, it's open from 12 o'clock till 9 o'clock in the evening. So we just closed down for tonight.
We have really nice open kitchen here, so everybody can see what is happening there. It's like a movie.
But we're going to walk from the restaurant, and next to the restaurant, we have our 2 bigger apartments. So we're going to take a look at one of the bigger apartments, and then we're going to end, as every night in Borgarfjörður should end, in the pub. So let's keep going. And let's take a look at our big apartments. So this is our biggest apartment. It accommodates 6 people. We have 3 bedrooms in it. 1 downstairs with also a downstairs bathroom as well. And a big dining table, a full kitchen, and a washer and dryer as well. So this is ideal for families with children or groups of friends that don't mind sharing accommodations. And we have the upper level as well, which is 2 bedrooms and a bathroom. And take a quick look, but this is a very, as I said, this is one of our more popular accommodations here. So 2 bedrooms here. A big bathroom as well. And 1 master bedroom. And a smaller bedroom as well.
Here you have mountain view.
It looks just gorgeous. Just a beautiful, beautiful area and a beautiful, beautiful layout.
Yeah, we have also 2 smaller apartments, studio apartments, and they are on the seaside, but they are taken tonight, so we're not able to show you that ones. They looks also really nice. So in all, we have 4 apartments in different sizes.
So let's go to the pub.
Yes, let's run to the pub.
Let's run to the pub. We're on timing, so. But thankfully, it's not a long walk. So people who leave the pub after maybe too many beers, but it's a very short walk since it's just over there.
Oh, did we lose them? Well, hopefully it will.
As you can see,
unfreeze.
yes, we rather do it well. But it's maybe nice to tell you this house, I really love this house. It was my uncle who imported this house 1897. So I have a little bit, yeah, my heart goes a little bit for this house. And he imported from Norway. There's
It's wonderful
something
that you've been able to restore that and keep that history alive.
Yes, and what is special also with this house, it has the longest story about supermarket over years in Iceland. There's no supermarket have been as long in one house in Iceland and this house.
So, good pub.
Yeah, this here.
So most of our decorative items here was gifted to us by local people, or it's from actually the original supermarket that was run here for over 100 years.
I told them the story while you were running.
So this is our brewery. So everything that you see was handmade in the Czech Republic. And we go by Czech traditional brewing traditions. So the basis of our beers are with Czech barley and Czech hops. as well as some American hops as well.
Yes.
So we have about, I think we can brew about 4,000 liters at the same time. But we brew, I think last year it was about 46,000 liters that we brewed over the whole year. Now the distillery is a lot smaller, but this is our, what we say, magic cave where the magic happens. So this is our laboratory where we experiment with flavors, with combinations of spices, fruits. But as you know, not a lot of things grow in Iceland, except potatoes and wild berries in the autumn and rhubarb. So we make do with what we have, and we try to use as much local ingredients that we have.
And for example, this beer snaps, because we are lots in sustainability, we don't like to throw anything. So beer, which is out of date, we make alcohol out of it.
So one year we had too much Christmas beer. We decided to steal the rest leftover and made a schnapps out of it. So everything is. This is and I would say that regular what do you say, quality control is done here by us. It's a hard, tough job, but somebody has to do it, and I will gladly do it once in a while.
Yeah.
So let's go upstairs to the pub. So here we also offer beer tastings, where we can offer you a beer tasting with only beers or a beer and spirit tasting. So everything you see here, every single thing that we can save from the old building, we saved and reused. So the wood, the panelings, everything is from the old store. It was a very labor-intensive job where we had us and more people pulling out old nails, trying to polish things down, but we do like the way it looked. Because it looks like it's been here for years. It's not just 2 or 3 years old. So this is an old organ that we got gifted.
It's one of the oldest here in the village. And here we have the toilets.
And then we have the Holy Grail itself, our brewery, our taps. We have 6 beers that we have on our tap. We only serve our own beer here, of course. It's the best. So why look elsewhere? And we also make our own cocktails here with all of our spirits. And we, as I said, we try to make a feeling like it's a cozy, you're coming home to a friend, or you're having a lovely time here with your friends, and we will accommodate you.
Here you can see the beer. It's Borghildur. Borghildur is the elf queen of Iceland and lives in Borgarfjörður. Dagrún, maybe you tell them a little bit from the...
Yes, so all of our beers are named after folk stories from the fjord, from this area. So we have a troll one, we have an elf one, we have a monster one, and all of the beers have a QR code that you can scan and read and listen to a story, both in English and Icelandic. That story that is connected to that beer that is named after. So this has pretty much been a run of our area here. I think we're almost up to 20 minutes. So
yeah, maybe a little bit of the landi, because this is actually our traditional drink in Iceland.
It's what I told you about earlier when we were walking in the deluxe room.
Yeah.
So big tradition here. This is made, a few places in Iceland are known for this particular drink. And there is a big rivalry about who makes it the best. But of course we know that we do. So there is no question there.
Yeah, we are the only one who has license to...
Yes, we are the only ones who are doing it legally.
Yes.
A lot of people are still doing it, and it's in back in the day there was almost every basement or a garage or somebody's weird uncle used to make this drink and probably still does. but we are doing it legally and doing it really, really well. So it's a really good spirit. So we will, if people come here for a visit, we will greet them well with a handshake and a shot of Lanti. So,
So I think we have told you guys the most important things.
We will switch the camera and we will take some questions if needed.
Okay. Yes, we do have a question. I noticed on your website that there are many places to hike and to go bird watching and things like that. One question came in that says Road 94
Yep.
seems to end not far from Bakkageri. Many old abandoned farms seem to exist around the coastline to the south towards Seyðisfjörður.
Yeah.
Is there any old road or viable hiking trails that would go out that way beyond where 94 ends?
Well, Borgarfjörður is known, is the most famous place for Icelandic people, for example, to come and hike. We have so many trails here and for people in all kinds of shapes. And that's one thing we do here is we give our staff really good education about all the trails so they can give people really good instructions. Well, the Road 94 ends in Hafnarhólmi, where all the puffins are. And that's one of the best place to take a look on puffins. And for you to know, we run also a cafe there. What we make everything from scratch. Cake, traditional cake for Iceland, and we bake everything there. So yeah.
So Iceland, Borgarfjörður is really a paradise for hikers, whether you're a beginner or experienced. The rock formation here is really unique as well. So if you are what we call a rock nerd, you are very welcome here. It's a really exciting place to be. And we will tell you, if you said in what shape you're in, we will tell you where to go and what you need to safely hike.
Wonderful, wonderful. Can you tell us a little bit more about your sustainability efforts?
Yeah. So we are, as I said, we're in a nature paradise, and we want to do as little to it and make as a little impact on the nature and on our environment as we can. So we, for example, one of our things which I think is very fun is from our brewery. For example, all of our spent grain from our brewery, the barley that is used to brew the beer, when it's being used, we dry it out and we give it to the farm that feeds it to the beef, to the cows, and then we get the beef back and we make our hamburgers out of it.
Yeah.
So it's a really good circle there. But our spa, we, as I said, we try to be very impactful when we are collecting our seaweed. When we are doing all of this stuff that we need to get things into nature, we make sure to give things back to the nature.
And now we're also starting all the seaweed which have been used. We are going to now do some research with the farmers, for example. Other things we are doing, for example, everything we cannot use for leftover, for blankets, linen, whatever it is, we find everything, new role. We give it to school, or we make just cloth out of it, or we make Christmas, package.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, and we have been doing that for many years. We have been doing this almost since we started.
Yeah.
So everything, same in the kitchen.
We have, there's a saying in Iceland that we use a lot, that you don't cross the river to get to the water. The water is right there in the river. So we try to use as much, we try to, to go as short of a distance to get what we need. So we think that's very important.
And that's also it's nice here in East Part. We have so many small producer of different kind of products. And that's one thing we offer also on our menu.
Yeah.
And we want to support the people who's trying to do nice things in our part of Iceland.
Very nice, very nice. Well, this has been just a marvelous tour. Thank you so much, Auður and Dagrún. This has been just great, and I'm going to add the resort to my bucket list.
Welcome.
So that, one of these days I'll come and be by your at your
We'll have a shot.
store.
We'll have a shot of Lanti waiting for you.
Okay. All right. And I just want to thank Höskuldur and Auður and Dagrún. This has been marvelous. Thank you very much. And before we go, I just want to tell you about an upcoming event that we have. And that is on Tuesday, June 24th at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. The INLUS will be partnering with our sister organization, INLNA in Canada, to bring you another presentation under the title of Western Icelanders, Our Story, Our Legacy. This program will introduce the attendees to the Icelandic settlements in Alberta, Canada, particularly around Red Deer, and in Minnesota, Minnesota, which is celebrating its 150th anniversary of Icelandic settlement this summer. So we hope you can join us for that. And once again, thank you, Hey Iceland. Thank you, Blábjörg, for your time and showing us around and reintroducing us to the company. It's been a pleasure to have you with us. So thank you, and thank you to all the attendees who joined us this evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.